Hey all, Key of W here with Artisan of Glimmith. We're going to hang out in this area, non-boxy. We're going to gild this window. That's kind of what I'm going for, is just gilding windows, which, you know, if I'm going in difficulty order, means I'm doing a lot of the 3s, 4s, and 5s, the ones I've complained about. I feel now, though, that I'm starting to understand the source of the complaints I have, so it doesn't feel so much like Old Man Yells at Cloud as much as, well, it's still Old Man Yells at Cloud. So we want four. Okay, so with our tetrominos, the only non-boxy tetrominos we have are there's actually three of them. We have the S, we have the T, and we have the L. So we can't make an O, we can't make an I. So down here I think we actually start with an L. Can't make it an I shape, it's gotta be non-boxy. Can't have this go on. It's gotta be this. Make that a little bit easier to see the walls. So over here's gotta be an L as well. This has to be an L. Do we just have all L's? What's going on here? This has to be an L. There's no other thing we can fit. So now we got an S shape here. This one has some options. S shape here would be fine, I think. It would not. I don't think that would be fine. What else could be? T shape could be here. We put a couple L's in. I want to avoid a problem here is what I'm going to try to get around. I think I need... What would I do here to make this not a problem? T-shape. T-shape is what I'd use. I'd use that, and I put an S shape here, and then I would die. What do I do here? I do S. Oh no, this was the correct S shape. I do it this way, and then I do else. There we go. Cool. That just felt like when you're. I don't know if I'm supposed to just throw myself at that one like that, but that felt fine. It felt fine. We got some non-boxies precisions. Where do I start with this? It's the same shapes I can make. I have to make L's, S's, or T's. I thought this spot was limiting, but it's not. There's so much this could be. This one could be anything. How about this spot? We gotta be careful here. We can't put a T in this spot, can we? The only place the T would work is there, and it would cause a problem. We can put an S in here just fine. We can also put an L here. L shape would have to be like that. What would that do? An S shape would force an L shape down here. I think the S shape breaks the puzzle. I think the S shape breaks because it forces an L shape here. It's the only thing we can put, which forces another. Well, L would do that, but we said no, it's an S shape. But now we have an I shape here. We can't do that. So I think we're meant to see this as part of an L. Maybe that's correct. I don't feel 100% on that, but that feels right. What are you doing here now? What's this piece? If I put a wall here, I think we break the puzzle. Yes. Because this piece now can't bend up. They have to bend down. We're in the same position we were in before, where it does that. So these two pieces have to go together. I'm not sure what they're part of. They can be part of an L. They can be part of an S. They're together, I think. The L shape do anything funky? It puts another L shape there. The S do anything? Puts an L shape here. Doesn't seem to be a problem. This spot here could be another L. No, because that puts an O shape here. But it could be an L going this way. In this space here, what's this one? This can't be an S here, but it could be an L. If it was an L, it would be this way. It's the only way to make it work. If it was a T shape, it would be this way. So either way, these three together. So that means this is an L here. So this is an L. This is an L. I hope I'm right. I don't feel super confident with this. This space has to take that one. Because if it doesn't, if it moves this way and doesn't take that space, we have an O there. So we either have an S or... No, we have to have a T. You can't have an S. This has to be a T shape. This has to be an S. This has to be L again. Lots of L's going on. I really hope I'm right. I think that... Yeah, I think this is right. So yeah, this one felt... I don't know. There was a bit of stuff going on, but again, it just kind of felt like I could shoot from the hip and do that one just fine, which is fine. Again, it's totally fine. I just wonder... I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it... This goes back to the difficulty complaint I had. If I'm looking at the difficulty, it's communicating to me what I'm supposed to feel, and if it doesn't, if my actual experience with the puzzle doesn't match, I just wonder if there's something wrong with me, and I don't want to be feeling that. So anyway, here, we're just going to do that. They're all going to be tetrominoes. This one's going to be a T shape. No, it could be an L shape. Could just be an L shape. I thought it was going to be one of these, but we're not sure. Any other gimmies? This shape's got to take that, but I'm not sure how it's going to do that. It's not... Oh, hold on. This one's not a T shape for sure. That's all I know. But it could be an L shape, too. Do I want to work this one out? I think I break the puzzle with this T shape. Because now this square's got to touch that circle, but then what happens in here, right? Because if this square... Maybe think about this square here. What circle can we touch? We can't touch that one because it's an I shape. Can't touch that one because it's an I shape. Which means this square is to touch that circle. I think that's the break-in. I think I'm supposed to find that. That's nice. So that means this square then does have to touch this circle. We have an L shape there. This circle can only touch that square without becoming boxy. I think I just see it as a bunch of L's, except for this piece right here. Right? Does this work? Yeah, I guess. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just bouncing off of these ones pretty hard. Same deal here. Now we just want circles. This guy... Well, this circle can't touch that one for sure. And it can't take all four of these. That's boxy. So it could be an L shape. L shape actually be a problem. An L shape can only be done like this, which would give us an I shape up here. T shape would work. S shape would not. I think actually T shape is the only thing I can do here, which gives us an L shape there. This piece is then a... Well, this piece, it comes out, so we have a T shape there. This could be an L. No, it can't, because this makes an I shape here. Let's see how it happens. This has to be S. We have an L shape here, and then we have two T's. Yeah, these are fine puzzles. They just... I guess I expected a different path through it, and that's just on me. That's just on me. That's got to be here. Oh, so we just have a T shape. We just have that one given to us. That means this is a T shape as well. So this one, like, because we have, we don't have a lot of space in here. We should have a little more space to draw. We have T, we have L, we have S. Now, the thing about T is we can also think of T as dead end, wall, dead end, right? And we can think of S as dead end, corner, corner, dead end. This is how you're supposed to do it. I'm so smart. Then you can think of the L shape as dead end, straightaway, corner, dead end. So you see that there's some unique pieces. The straightaway is only on the L shape, and the wall piece here is only on the T shape. So I know, I know that this here is also part of a T shape. Corners can be on multiple shapes here. So, well, to have two corners next in part of the same shape, they have to be the S shape. The only way to do this here is to have at least one piece down there. There's just no way to have the two corners. Because, like, this just doesn't have the corners. We have to do it this way or, like, this way. That's just how it's going to go. So those are like that. Which means this here can be an L shape or an S shape. No, it can't be an S shape, because then what is that? So this right here is the L. Gives us an L there, which gives us a T here. This piece can be an L, and that's it. I know these go together. That means this shape actually is the S, like so. There's your L. There's another T there. This is sort of helping us with the T. Not 100% sure yet. The T can't be these two pieces because that's not a dead end. It's got to be one of these, like that. That's fine. That's fine. We don't know yet. Corner piece here. Now we've got a puzzle. I suppose if I made it this way. Well, if I did this piece here, I'd actually start forcing quite a lot, which would cause a problem here. Like this is obviously forced. This one here, the reason it's forced is if we bring it down, then what do we put here, right? we'd end up with not. So it would have to go this way. Only way to have this be a corner piece would be like an L shape. Yeah, I think that doesn't work. I think we have to do it this way, but I'm not sure. Maybe this is the L shape. And then we have S shape. Yeah, we got it. There it is. Kind of felt like I had to guess when we were at the end, but again, like I'm just not sure. Was that right? Was I supposed to work out you can't do it that way? Just felt very guessy. I'm gonna reserve judgment on this group here, because like I felt very confused about all these puzzles, but I don't think it was because they were badly designed as much as I just bounced right off of that set right there. That's too bad. Let's do some 4s again. 4s really are, and I guess I'm going to say this all the time because I think it would be unreasonable for me to expect everyone watching this video to watch every single video I've made and pay attention and take notes and all that kind of stuff. Like, what kind of psycho thinks you're all going to do that, right? So you might not have already heard I've complained about the difficulty for the simple reason that, like, when you put difficulty markers in your games, this happens in a lot of puzzle games. You say, well, this is a difficulty 1, this is difficulty 5, this is difficulty 10, whatever the range is. You are communicating to your player expectations. Here, I'm going to draw. I'm going to make this, turn this into nerd out. So if I say, I'm going to do it on a thing that's got more space on it. We got more space on, which one was like really narrow? This one. So if you tell me difficulty is 1, that's our difficulty. Then I'm going to expect here. I'm going to call it the effort and joy here. I'm going to expect effort is going to be really low. I also expect joy is going to be pretty low. Like, not to say that the puzzle will be unfun. It's just I'm not going to experience on an easy puzzle a lot of just pleasure and joy from solving, because it's not going to be a lot of work. Meanwhile, if you tell me that the puzzle is a 7, I'm going to expect the effort to be like crazy high. I'm expecting this. That's how you color this stuff in. That's what this looks like. That's graph making for, professionals. But I also expect to really enjoy that, right? Like, I'm going to feel very, very proud of myself for solving that puzzle. You see with these twin towers there. But you see, like, what this is doing. My expectations here are because of this. And that, like, if you were to tell me, no, actually, that's your fault, you shouldn't have those expectations, I don't understand that criticism. If a developer puts a marker like this in the game, it is meant to communicate, and that communication will result in this. And that's fine, right? If it matches. But it's really hard to get it to match, and there's not a lot of puzzle games out there I've played where the difficulty matches. And sometimes there's 1 or 2 puzzles where it feels off, but this one feels off all the time. All the time. There are so few puzzles where I personally feel that the difficulty marker is correct. And I will admit right now as I say this, that is me. That is because of my puzzle solving ability going into it. Other people will feel differently. But isn't it risky, if you're a developer, to put these markers in to give people this expectation, right? This is what the expectation is. What are the chances that everyone playing is going to experience this? This graph makes total sense. Sometimes this is what happens. I expect this level of effort, and then I play a 3 puzzle, and it feels like this. And this is bad. This is just bad, because now I don't feel... sorry, I did this graph wrong. I expect the effort to be here. Let's do this. Expected, and then, like, real effort. So, like, I feel like I'm giving the PragerU graph guy a run for his money with how bad this graph is. But, like, the expected effort is here. The real effort is here. And so if I expect it to be like this, and then it's like this, what ends up happening is I go... well, the game said it was a 3, so I just must be a stupid whatever. And I don't think the developers want me to feel stupid. They want me to feel accomplished when I solve a puzzle. But if I'm being told that the work I'm supposed to do to solve the puzzle is minimal, then I don't feel accomplished for spending maximal effort. The opposite is also true if I'm doing here. While I continue making these wonderful graphs, if I'm told a puzzle is a 6, I'm expecting that. Something like this. I'm expecting to work kind of hard to get that puzzle solved. And if in reality, this is how you spell real, it was actually easy, this will happen. This is just what's going to happen. You design a puzzle, you think it's hard, somebody plays your game, they play it, and the puzzle's easy. What do? Do you work on the puzzle to make it harder? No, you don't. It just happens. The puzzle's fine. But if you tell me that it is a hard puzzle with this thing, what the fuck am I doing? If you tell me the puzzle's hard and then it isn't, I expected this. And when I expect a certain amount, that's the amount of joy I will get from solving the puzzle. I ended up getting less joy. That was great. I ended up getting less joy from solving the puzzle because it ended up being less work than I was told it was. So I was expecting this, and I got that. This is also bad because now I don't feel like a genius for solving the puzzle. I feel like I must have missed something, or maybe I start being tempted to think the developers are stupid because they think this game is hard and it really isn't. And so, unless you are like really putting a lot of work into marking difficulties on your puzzles, I'm just coming to the belief, never, ever tell me how hard your game is. Please. Never do that. Never tell me how hard your game is. Because then I end up in this position where if I ever experience something different from what you tell me, I end up with a lesser experience with the game. I end up having less fun than I would have had otherwise. Now that I've complained about that for 5 minutes, I don't know how long I was just yapping. Do you care? You might not care. But I care because, like, I'm having less of a good time. This puzzle, anyway, it says 4, and this is where I have the most problem because it's usually pretty easy to tell when your puzzle is really easy or really hard. If you make a puzzle that you think is super, super easy, you're probably right. If you make a puzzle you think is super, super hard, you're probably right. But in the middle, it's a lot harder to tell if your puzzle's hard or soft, right? So I'm looking at this, I see the number 4. My expectation is immediately, I want to expend some effort to solve the puzzle. I should see the answer quickly. At the same time, when I start seeing logical patterns, I expect to get through them without having to struggle. I expect to have to just work on some logical steps and then get to the end. So if I end up having to work really hard to find that logic, I just end up going, I must be stupid because this is only a 4. Cool. Now that I've done that complaint, you're going to hear about it in every single video. Until the devs fix it. They're never good. You can't fix this. Anyway, these 6s are part of the same thing. They are not because of solitude, non-boxy solitude. But I can have 2 of the same thing next to each other. I just have to make sure these 6s are not boxes. Where do I start with this one? This 5, perhaps? This 5 looks like a good place to start. Right? This 5 here could extend down this way, but that's as far as we go, so it must extend up at least, well, 2 spaces. I just don't know which 2 we're going to have. This 4 space can extend in here, but it must extend out at least once. Okay, those are the gimmies. I think the rest of this I'm going to have to work for. Is there anything else? Oh, also with the solitude, I have to ask what's going to go in a spot, because it has to be part of a region. So this spot right here can't be part of the 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. It can. Damn it, it can reach. 6. This 6 can only reach this far. It also makes a boxy region, so it can't do this anyway. But it means that this 3 right here has got to take this space here. Now, can this 3 not... Can we put a wall here? This 3 won't reach. The 5 and the 4 definitely won't. This 3 won't reach. This 6 is the only one that can reach, but it's a boxy region. So no, this 3 must be an elbow. Now, what is going to be in that space? The 6 can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Doesn't reach. So this must also be the 3 right here. That's that. And now this region has to be the 6. It's the only one that'll reach. That's how you solve this. There you go. So that feels good, right? Like I found a logical thing. I found these things. I have to work a little bit at it, but I'm not struggling. Like that to me is kind of where this should be in my mind. That's what's being communicated. Now, if you were to say, well, 4 is supposed to be somewhat hard, actually, your expectation is wrong. Well, no, because this is right in the middle between 1 and 7. So it's telling me middle, right? So that's just how it's supposed to be. So this is going to take one of these. I'm not sure which one it is. This one. Yeah, this 6 could take any of these spots. Not this one, though. Well, this 4 can't go in all the way, because then it's boxy. I should know that one much quicker. This 5 has to take those spots then. So, the 4 could go here. 4's got a lot of options. The 5 is already non-boxy, so I can take whatever I like. What goes there? I have a couple options, unfortunately. This 4 can't be a straight line, but which one is it? What thing is it going to do? Let's see. What goes there? This space right here. It's not going to be this 3 because that's a box. This 6 could go into there, but this feels a bit limiting. Yeah. Yeah, this ain't going to happen. If the 6 moves into this space, I really feel like I've screwed something up because what's going to go in here? Right? Yeah, the 5 is also going to break the 3. So, okay, I was just making sure the 6 can't go in there. I was pretty sure the 6 can't go in there. I was trying to work out that it has to be this 3. And I think it does. It has to be this 3 piece. So now does it go this way or that way? Science can't answer. We can bring this up or to the right. Still don't know for sure. We have quite a few options for this 3. This 4. Actually, what can reach this space? This space right here. This 3 can't reach. This 4 can't reach. This 4 can easily reach it. This 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it, that works. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It works down here just fine, but it doesn't work up here because now this 4 has to be a box. So no, this is going to be the 4. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can still do this. I still have the possibility. No, I don't. Again, same problem. This 4 can't... If I bring this 6 over, this 4, I'd have to also bring it up. Which means I can't be in that space. So this 4, I think, has to be T-shaped. But the 6 does have to reach down here because we can't reach it with the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means the 6 has to take this spot so that this 4 isn't a box. Right? This 3's got to reach. This 6 now has to reach into here. Right? The 6 has got to take those spots. Could take that one. No, it can't because the 5's got to go up. And I think we have a puzzle. See, I like that. That happens to match the 4. Because I felt, I had to make steps, I had to think about it, but at no point did I ever sit and feel stuck, right? It wasn't a slog. And so, yeah, when I finish that puzzle, I feel good because the difficulty that I was told the level of effort I needed to put in, I was told how fun the puzzle would be when I solved it, and both of those things were accurate. If I hadn't been told ahead of time, I would have probably come out of the puzzle saying it's a medium difficulty puzzle, right? So if the game hadn't told me the puzzle difficulty ahead of time, I would have just experienced it fine without thinking about it. This piece, I think we definitely can't do that. That makes a box. So the question is here or here? I think if I put a wall here, we're screwed. So I know it's got to come down, and then it's got to come down again. That's got to be a wall. This T shape. Couple of options on that. How about this Z shape? Got a thing there. We've got a thing there. Hold on. We got a W shape we got to worry about. This ain't going to work. That's a box. So it has to be this way. Yeah, it's got to do that. So we can have an elbow piece here. Now, if I did this, we'd have a box. So we have to... I see what's going on. I see what you're doing. That's got to go there. No, stop. Thank you. The T shape here now is restricted. This doesn't work because there's a box. There we go. This is the way this puzzle's supposed to go. Now, this prevents us from having boxy shapes. Now we just put that in there, and then we put in a little shape like that. Yeah, so if I didn't look at the difficulty level of this, I would have almost said a 2, just because that was my experience with it. But I was told that was a 3. That's a pretty minor discrepancy. I'm not really going to complain about it in this particular case. I'm just going to bring it up to say that my experience is always going to be just a little bit different from what the devs are telling me. And the more often that happens, the more confused I get as a player. Let's see what we got here. This one's easy, I think. What am I doing? Stupid. Don't block that in. Non-boxy. So... that's got to happen. This is got to happen. This has got to happen. That's got to happen. This is going to be one of them. I'm not sure which. This has to be part of that. That means this space has to be filled with purple because otherwise it's a box. We can do this if we like. No, we can't. We have to block that. So this is cyan. blocks, be blocks. We have to bring that out at least. This piece now has to come up. Okay, this piece comes out. What do we do with it? Well, gotta block that. It's gotta be a different section, but it's gotta be attached to that. There's just no way around it. This has to go here. Do we... Oop, hold on, this is not that. Excuse me. Do we... If I do this, that is totally fine. Let's make that the green then. Yeah, I think... Hold on, this has to be... That has to be that. This has to be... Interesting. That was an interesting one, like, leading me on the thing. Kind of like that. And that did, in my opinion, that felt close to what a 3 should be. I got lucky there. Non-boxy, did it. Yeah, I'm dabbing. Can't see it, but I'm dabbing on the haters. So, that's that section. Now what? I think I'll end things here. I mean, the game, not like anyone's life. So, that's... No, I'm going to do one more, because there's another 3 here. Alright, non-boxy. That's got to come out. It's too dark. This can't move that direction because it's solitude. Got to pay attention to the rules. Oh, hold on. That means we have to take both of these spaces to avoid boxiness. We can't take that piece, so we got to take that one. We can't take that. So this guy has got to come out, but then it can't touch that. It's got to be non-boxy. So this could be the end of that. We're not sure. Actually, the P shape is done because we can't touch any other pieces. Let me just real quick. Okay, this shape here has got to come out. This shape. Well, hold on. We can't touch that shape, so we got to make a non-boxy. There we go. That's done. Take this piece out. This one can still continue. We're not totally sure. We do have a corner piece there. This has to be non-boxy, so we have to go at least that far, and in fact, we're done. This one could be done as this. The yellow one's done now. We gotta take you out. It means we gotta make non-boxy there. This has to be at least non-boxy, so those are complete. This one could continue, but this has to be a new shape for sure, no matter what we do. Comes out, and it's gotta be non-boxy, so we gotta move it. There we go, we're done with that. This piece has to come out. So does this one. It's gotta be non-boxy, so there we go. There. Nice. Fun little puzzle. There we go. I just wanted to, I saw that one right at the end of it. I saw that it was a low difficulty, so I wanted to take care of it, just like I saw this one. Bunch of T-shapes. Well, for sure, this T-shape's going to take those. That's going to take these. Well, it can't take these, because then how on earth am I going to make this T-shape work? Right? It's got to take that one. So here's that piece or that piece. No, hold on. If I take this one, how do I make this work? Right? If I do this here, this T-shape has got to move up this way, and then, yeah, so I've got to take, these 4. That's the only way I can do that one. This doesn't have to be a T-shape. No, it does, because it has to be non-boxy, so it's got to extend, but it's going to hit a T-shape piece, so it's got to be that. This is a T-shape piece. It can't be like this, so it's got to be this way. Now this one is like this, and I think the rest of this is actually just going to solve itself, like so. Ah, easy. There we go. Now I'm finished. Yeah, I'm going to do that one later. Cool. The end. That's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day.